So the stressful conditions of the coronavirus pandemic has caused an increased consumption of alcohol and drugs in Jamaica, we're told. Zooming in to have this discussion is research analyst with the National Council on Drug Abuse, Uki Atkinson. Hey, Uki, welcome to Smile
Good
Jamaica once
morning.
again.
Thank you.
Hope all is well.
Thus far, yes.
In preparing for this, I read that it would be difficult for you to really do the research because of the coronavirus. But obviously, things have gone up as far as drug use, cigarette use, marijuana, alcohol. This is what you're saying, right?
Well, we're not categorically making that statement that there has been a national increase, but we can say that we have three sources of information that speak to the fact that people are definitely struggling. Now, it may be that people who are already using substances, who are regular substance users, have increased their intensity of use versus more people are using substances. And I can point to three main sources of information that we have, Neville, if you give me a chance to share with you the fact that we did an online survey last year looking at the impact of COVID and drug use. However, because it is online, that means that the majority of the population was not able to participate because of the digital divide. Not everybody has access to the internet, etc.
So
In
give me the
that
three
survey,
sources.
okay, so it's that the online survey. We have our helpline. We looked at data from our helpline for last year and this year, as well as focus group discussions that we conducted among secondary school students and teachers and guidance counselors. So for the three sources, our sources, they speak to the fact that certainly there may be an increase, but we're not being sensational and saying drug use is on the rise in Jamaica nationally, okay? So for our survey, what we found was that, well, first of all, people reported undergoing significant mental health issues relating to COVID-19. So the anxiety, the depression, stress levels are higher. More than 25% of the 800 respondents reported feeling, stressed out and so on. When we looked at drug use in particular, we looked at whether persons have used in the past year, and 36% of the persons reported using in the last year. And of course, of the drugs that they used, alcohol was the drug that was most widely used. So we had 88% reporting using alcohol, 47% using ganja, 34% using tobacco. Crack cocaine and the other drugs are much less, as is found in our national surveys.
Okay, can I
When
stick
we
up
look-
in there one sec?
Yes,
We're putting
sure.
alcohol under the drug category. I think that may surprise some people.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Alcohol is the drug that is most widely used across the world, but
I
it is
did not
licit.
know that
It's
we
legal.
defined it as a drug.
Really?
I
Yes,
know.
we do.
Should I have-
Yes, a
did you
lot of
know
people
that?
do not. A lot of people don't think it is a drug. There are lots of substances out there that people think, if you sniff glue, it's an inhalant. It can create a psychoactive reaction. So there are lots of substances, and alcohol is chief among them. In fact, it is a drug most widely used in Jamaica by our
Interesting.
population.
Thank you for that
But I want to
clarification.
talk a little
Yes.
bit about the increase. So the reported increase among these online participants, 38% of them reported that they increased their cannabis use. 32% reported increasing alcohol use directly as a result of COVID-19 stressors. And in terms of tobacco, a quarter of them reported increased tobacco use, and crack cocaine much less, 2.3%. Now, the reasons cited included stress, social isolation, financial problems, and so on. So that's one source. The next source is our helpline calls. Now, we have a helpline, 876-564-4357, and we started tracking the calls and the characteristics of callers last year. Well, we've always tracked the numbers of callers, but we looked a little bit deeper into the type of persons who were calling and why they were calling. Now, there was an exponential increase between March and December last year, where we had 361 callers compared to 339 callers over the whole of 7 years before.
What?
So that is an indication for sure that people are struggling. Now, we have to say, and we have to be responsible here, we did do public education early last year when the pandemic hit.
broke out. Yes, I
Right,
remember.
because, right, remember we were even with
Yes.
y'all and talking about the fact that drug users are more prone to increases in use because of the stressors and so on. So it may be that people were more aware of how it is that they could seek help and therefore the calls increased.
Why were they calling?
So they were calling for help with problematic drug use.
Help for
68% of the callers.
help for themselves or help for a family member or what?
I'm glad you asked that because we tracked that as well. 40% of the callers were family members who called, while 60% were people calling for themselves. So family members are concerned about their relatives who are using, and they've called us for us to do an intervention.
The ones who call for themselves, what do they say? I don't understand why you're smoking, why you're drinking. What do they say when they call?
I need help. I have a drug problem. I need help. 68% of them are calling for help with cannabis use, 45% for tobacco, 33% for alcohol. What they're saying is, I can't cope with this and I need your help. You all say you can help. Please get me into your program.
So, okay, let me ask you how this intervention program works, because I've seen a show called Intervention in the States, and it's just so gripping how the family members come together with the professionals to try to break that cycle of drug use and so on. What does your intervention program, what does the NCDA's intervention program look like?
So it's multifaceted. We have a range. I mean, it goes from prevention all the way to treatment. When we're talking about treatment among persons who are having problematic drug use, first of all, there is a need to determine where are they at, because some people are at different stages, and there are evidence-based stages in terms of how ready people are to stop their drug use. So there is a pre-contemplation stage where people are basically not considering change. And these are more when the family members are calling and say, look here, you need to help me with this person, I cannot manage him anymore. So that's pre-contemplation. And at that stage, you really want to be able to have a conversation with somebody to help them to recognize that the drug use may be causing them either mental or physical harm, or is causing harm to their family, etc. There's a contemplation stage. It's 6 whole stages. And basically what you do is you do not direct the person as to what they must do, but you work alongside them in a supportive and encouraging way, in a motivational way, to be able to help them to come to a point where they would like to create change.
Final question from me, Mrs. Atkinson. The 361 calls raised eyebrows, but isn't it a good thing that they are calling? At least they
Absolutely.
accept. So you would want the calls to be much less, because you would want to think much less people are using. But if they are calling, that's a good thing, right?
It's a good thing, and we welcome it. And I have to say this as well. The NCDA is not working in isolation. We have taken this time to be able to build the capacity of a number of our partners in the healthcare sector, so regional health authorities, in the education sector, guidance counselors, HFLE teachers, to be able to screen, provide brief intervention and referral to treatment if necessary, because we can't do it on our own. And majority of the population is engaging with the healthcare sector, the education sector. There are faith-based partners that we have who have been trained in this. It's an evidence-based approach for you to be able to provide a brief intervention which can go a far way.
All right, we have to go. Okay, 876-564-4357 is that number. Please give the NCDA a call if you're having an issue, or if your family member is having an issue with drug and alcohol abuse. Thank you so much, Uki Atkinson, research analyst with the National Council on Drug Abuse. After the break,
Living a life on purpose. Stay with us, please. Soon come.